Hey there YouTube, it's Mrlubufu here with the complete Modern Masters set review. Hopping on to Red. Again, I'll be looking at this strictly in a limited sense, not in a financial nor how will it impact Modern, because they're all already Modern legal. Anyways, just go ahead and jump right in. First we have Blind Spot Giants. It's a 3-mana 4/3 that can't attack or block unless you control another giant. I'm going to start by saying I don't like the red-white Giants archetype in general, so I don't like this card. Period. Um, Next, we have Blood Moon. Non-basics are mountains. In limited, just because there's very few non-basics, or very few non-basics, this won't have the effect you expect. So it's not that good. Brute Force is Giant Growth. Giant Growth is fine. I like it more than most people. It's quite good. In a set, like, Brute Force is going to be doing a lot of work. We have Countryside Crusher. It's another giant. I like this better art, by the way. And it certainly can do a lot of work. Makes people definitely want to answer, and with the amount of removal in this set, like, they have to answer it right away, or he gets big really fast. Crush Underfoot. If you're playing instants, or if you're playing giants, then not instants. If you're playing giants, then I mean, Crush Underfoot's good removal. Otherwise, I mean, of course, you shouldn't play it. Desperate Ritual, not really. The Storm Suspend archetype is not one that you should be trying out, I think. So Desperate Ritual's not that good. Dragon Storm, 9 mana. Storm, search your dragon for a dragon permanent. Yeah, probably not the best card in the world. You have to have a lot of dragons to make it work, so I don't expect it to see play, ever. Empty the Warrens is fine. You really have to have a few Storm to make it good, but it's okay. Fiery Fall I like a lot more, but it's still 6 mana deal 5 damage to target creature. If you need the removal, this is definitely the sort of thing that you're probably going to take. Otherwise, I mean, it's okay. Fury Charm, destroy target artifact, is going to be used a lot. More than the other two effects, I think. Plus, the +1 trample is also fine, but think of it as destroy as a shatter. That's slightly better. Glacial Ray, these just get better in multiples. Unfortunately, I mean, you have to have enough arcanes to splice an arcane to make it really good. But Glacial Ray can be really good if you have enough of them. So, if you had a critical mass of Glacial Rays, it does a lot of work. Grape Shot, I mean, if you have the Storm count going, but you probably won't hit more than Storm 4 or 5. So, yeah, it's okay. I'm a giant fan of Greater Gargadon, even though I shouldn't be. But it's okay, I think, in a limited format, especially since 9/7s are going to be impossible to deal with. Unless Black probably has the best ways out, but I mean, White has basically two pieces. Blue doesn't have anything except for Bounce, which Bounce might work against Gargadon, but Gritting Ingots I'm not a fan of at all. Hammerheim Deadeye. It's another giant. We have to pay Echo, and it's Echo 6. So, if you want to keep the guy, you have to play it on turn 6. Destroy target creature with flying is probably a relevant ability, though. Kikijiki, I like Kikijiki a lot. It can do a lot of work in limited as well. Triple red, though. Keep that in mind. Lava Spike, it's a burn spell. To target player. And it's an arcane, but you have to have a lot of burn, or very aggro burn to make this work. Mog War Marshal is a card that's okay. Mold Disaster is, I mean, it's sort of like Fireball. It's more like Earthquake, but it does a lot of work. Partic Dragon and Uncommon means it might actually be cast at some point. If you get it suspended on turn 2, it really makes sure your opponent casts spells, but it's not going to be... I mean, I like it, basically. I don't know why I like it, but I do. Don't play Pyromancer Swath. Rift Bolt with the promo art. I like Rift Bolt a lot. I mean, it's Bolt. That's what you suspend for 1. So, good card. I don't like Rift Elemental. There's not enough cards to make it insane. Ryusei, I mean, 6 mana, 5/5 flyer. You play it. Shrapnel Blast. Blue-white is the deck with artifacts, but if you have artifacts to play, Shrapnel Blast can
can do work. Squee Goblin and Bob, I don't like it at all. So, meh. I liked Sting Scourger in original, or in Future Sight, I believe is where it was from. But it's an unsummon effect, and again, you either pay it for 2, and then you bounce something, and then you lose it. Or you get to pay the full 4 the next turn, so it's okay. Stinkdrinker Daredevil, this card is probably what's going to make the Giant deck work. The more of these you get, the better. Because Giants are expensive. Sudden Shock, well, I mean, it's Shock with Split Second, so it's quite sudden. But also good card. I mean, burn is quite good. You'll notice Red has a lot of cheap burn spells, 2 damage to a lot of things. So Red has probably the best removal. Not unconditional, but a lot of good removal. Tar Pitcher's fine if you have goblins, of course. Thundercloud Shaman's okay. I don't like it that much, to be honest. Same with Thundering Giant. Again, I don't like the giant archetype, so keep that in mind when I talk about these. Torrent of Stone is probably like the closest thing you're going to get to dealing 4 damage to a creature in red. Like, this card, very, very powerful. There's a lot of X4s. Treble Flames is okay. You probably aren't playing too many different land types, so it's not going to be dealing the full 5 every time, but you might get 2 or 3 out of it. And Warspike Changeling, well, I mean, it's probably the cheapest giant you're going to get, right? It's still at 4 mana, though. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and please check out the other parts.